The Scorch Trials, Chapter 62, on this PDF, page 202. Brenda looked at Thomas with panicked eyes, her face full of pain as the stranger dragged her across the metal floor of the Berg toward the hatch and certain death. When he was halfway there, Thomas acted. He jumped forward and slammed into the man's knees, tackling him to the floor. The gun clattered on the ground next to him. Brenda fell to the side, but Teresa was there to catch her, pull her back from the dangerous edge of the floor. Thomas put his left forearm against the man's throat and reached for the gun with his other hand. His fingers found it, gripped it, pulled it close to him. He jumped up and away and held the pistol with both hands, pointing it at the stranger sprawled on his back. "No one else dies," Thomas said, breathing heavily, somewhat shocked at himself. "If we haven't done enough to pass your stupid tests, then we fail. The tests are over." As he said it, he wondered if this was supposed to happen. But even if that didn't matter, he meant every word he'd said. The senseless killing and dying had to end. The stranger's face softened into the slightest hint of a smile, and he sat up and scooted backward until he bumped into the wall. As he did so, the large cargo door began closing, the squeak of its hinges like squealing pigs. No one said anything until it clanked shut, and one last rush of wind surging through before it did. "My name's David," the man said, his voice loud in the new silence, broken only by the low hum of the ship's engines and thrusters. "And don't worry, you're right, it's over. It's all over." Thomas nodded mockingly. "Yeah, we've heard that before. This time, we mean it. We're not going to sit back and let you treat us like rats anymore. We're done." David took another moment to scan the large cargo hold, maybe seeing whether the others agreed with what Thomas had just said. Thomas didn't dare break his gaze, though. He had to believe that they were all behind him. Finally, David looked back at Thomas, then slowly got to his feet, raising a hand in conciliation as he did so. Once he was standing, he put both hands in his pockets. "What you don't understand is that everything has gone and will continue to go as planned. But you're right, the trials are complete. We're taking you to a place of safety, a real place of safety. No more tests, no more lies, no more setups, no more pretending." He paused. "I can only promise one thing. When you hear why we've put you through this and why it's so important that so many of you survived, you'll understand. I promise you'll understand." Minot snorted. "That's the biggest bunch of clunk I've ever heard in my life." Thomas couldn't help but feel a little relief that his friend hadn't lost his fire. "And what about the cure we were promised? For us and the two who helped us get here, how can we believe anything you tell us?" "Think what you want for now," David said. "Things will change from here out, and you'll get the cure, just like you were told, as soon as we get back to headquarters. You can keep that gun, by the way. We'll even give you some more if you'd like. There'll be nothing else for you to fight against, no tests or trials to ignore or refuse. Our Berg will land. You'll see that you're safe and cured, and then you can do what you want. The only thing we'll ever ask you to do again is to listen, only to listen. I'm sure you're at least intrigued by what's all behind this." Thomas wanted to scream at the man, but knew it'd serve no point. Instead, he answered in as calm a voice as possible. "No more games." "First sign of trouble," Minot added, "we start fighting. If that means we die, then so be it." David smiled fully this time. "You know, that's exactly what we predicted you'd do at this point." He motioned with an arm toward a small door at the back of the cargo hold. "Shall we?" Newt spoke up this time. "What's next on the bloody agenda?" "Just thought you'd like to eat something, maybe take a shower, sleep." He started walking around the crowd of gladers and girls. "It's a very long flight." Thomas and the others spent a few seconds exchanging glances, but in the end, they followed. They really had no other option.